Hello and welcome to Scooped, the ice cream review podcast where we try all the cone creations, signatures, slushes, and frozen foods on the East Coast to give you the ultimate scoop. My name is Holly Hagman, and with me is my co-host, husband, and ice cream connoisseur, Paul Percivali. Paul, what do you call a slow-moving ice cream truck?
A slow-moving ice cream truck.
Yes.
I don't know, Holly. I can't think of anything. I was going to say something along with like a frozen speed bump, but that wouldn't make sense. So go ahead. What is it?
A Sunday driver.
That was good.
Thank you. Thanks, Internet. Anyway, in our last episode, we reviewed taro frozen yogurt, which we placed at the B tier level, and for this episode, we are reviewing an ice cream truck famous in North Jersey, the Blue Rain ice cream truck.
Mm-hmm.
Before we start talking about Blue Rain, I think we should talk about the funny confusion that erupted when your family saw that we went to a place called Taro Frozen Yogurt. And there was...
Yeah, what was their issue with it again?
They saw that we went to a place called... They saw the post that said Taro Frozen Yogurt, and they thought we in fact had taro frozen yogurt, like taro flavored.
Yeah, they were jealous.
And they were like mad we didn't invite them, and then we said, they didn't have taro at the place, it was just the name of the restaurant, and they were like, oh, then never mind.
Yes.
It was very silly. You would think they would have that.
That would have made sense, wouldn't it?
It would have made sense, but they didn't, and it wasn't even on their like website. It's like a rotating one.
I wonder where that name came from then.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I was just going to say maybe the original owners were like Chinese or something.
They could have been Asian or...
They might be.
Maybe they just... or maybe they still are. Maybe they really like taro. The sound of the word. Does taro mean something different in...
I'm not entirely sure. I know that it's a root that they use to cook different meals from. I know that it can be put into buns. I know that it can be sliced and cooked in hot pots. I know that, like Cereal Creamery does, they have a taro ice cream. But I don't know what taro actually, like, what taro might mean other than, you know, the taro root. Do you see anything? No. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm just going to assume that they like taro root, and maybe they are of Chinese descent.
I don't know.
Anywho.
That's a big deviation, but anyway, back to Blue Rain.
And shall I talk? I mean, shall I go over their background?
Yeah, I would love to hear about them.
Okay. It's not that long compared to some of the other things we've done.
Nope.
But here it is. Surfing smiles all over North Jersey. Blue Rain Ice Cream will provide you with the best ice cream experience ever. You know, I mean, we've had a lot of ice cream experiences. Is all I'm going to say.
Paul, this was obviously the best one ever. Weren't you there?
Got it. From putting together a quote that will make your taste buds tingle and tailoring your ideal ice cream package to suit your budget are just a few of the services we can provide. The experience will leave you and your guests hungry for more, so don't wait for seconds. Book us right away.
Yes.
And yes, book us has to do with the fact that this place is a mobile ice cream truck.
Yes, and you can book their services for whatever your event is, and there's a whole system on their website, which we'll get to in a minute. But do you see any issues with this description? Because I do, and it bothered me a little bit because I am a stickler.
For punctuation?
No.
Serving smiles all over New Jersey, Blue Rain Ice Cream will provide you with the best ice cream experience ever. From putting together a quote that will make your taste buds tingle and tailoring your ideal ice cream package to suit your budget are just some of the services we can provide. The experience will provide you, leave you and your guests hungry, and you don't want to wait another second. Book us right away. I don't know.
Where were we when we had the Blue Rain ice cream truck?
We were at the Esports Finals of New Jersey.
And where was that located?
Georgian Court University.
And where is Georgian Court University?
I don't know. Is it south?
It's south!
Oh.
It's so far South Jersey. It's not even funny. It's in the freaking 90s on the Parkway in terms of exit number. And the higher it goes, the more north you are. The lower it goes, the more south you are. And guess what? We got off at exit 92 to get to this dang esports tournament, which we'll talk about in a minute because that was like a lot of fun. But, yeah, I don't know why. That Serving Smiles All Over North Jersey as their slogan irks me because you're mobile. You can go absolutely anywhere. Why are you saying specifically North Jersey? And then you actually serve stuff in the South. It's very weird. It
Maybe
irks
they're just
me.
looking for more business.
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, this was a big deal place.
Irks me. Irks me a lot. Yeah, so anyway, we ran into the Blue Rain ice cream truck kind of by accident, and this is one of those things where we had to change our
entire schedule because of it.
Because we saw this and we had to do it, and it was like a whole production. But talk to me, Paul, about the esports tournament. What is that, and why were we there?
Well, I am an esports coach for. I guess it doesn't hurt to just say my school, right?
Oh, it's up to you.
I don't know. I'm an esports coach for my school. I supervise it. I'm in charge of like training the kids in the game of their choosing. And our school is very, very good at Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in particular. And so our school did an extremely good job this season, and we made it to the state finals. So, so we were invited to the state finals, and we accepted the invitation, and we went there on Saturday, May 17th, I think it was.
You say so. It was a Saturday.
Yes. And I went down there with my 5 kids, and then with my 6 kids, and one extra one showed up, and we were competing in the finals, and we placed 3rd place in our third place in the state out of all the schools in our population threshold.
Woohoo!
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I personally think we could have taken it. I think that if we didn't get matched against the first seed in the state, we could have possibly done it. But you know what? Everyone did excellently, and I'm very proud of everyone. And I'm very happy with how this season turned out. You
should be. Why was I there?
You were there to support.
Yes.
And cheer us on.
Yes.
And also cheer on high school, because that's the school that Annie was at.
Yes. Superfan Annie is also a teacher, and she works at another school, which we will be beeping the name of for her privacy.
Okay, but
yes.
Okay.
Anyway, so then both these teams were in the tournament, and so I said, hey, Paul's coaching in this tournament, and your school's playing in this tournament, and I don't think we're in the same bracket, because the schools are different sizes, and that turned out to be true. You guys didn't play each other.
No.
Thankfully. Which was good, because I don't know if they won. I still didn't find out.
You need to find out.
I need to find out.
I wouldn't be surprised if they won.
I said it again, too. Ugh! Falling apart. Anyway, the point is, Superfan Annie and I took a road trip down there to be supportive of our respective schools, And then while we were there, we found ice cream, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. So it was after, we were all said and done, and everyone was a bit tired, and we were heading home a little bit early. And you mentioned that there was an ice cream truck outside, and then I was like, hey, kids, are you interested in some ice cream? And as kids usually are, they were interested in some ice cream.
I know that's really shocking to everyone because kids notoriously hate ice cream.
I know, just like I hate ice cream too.
I think you have to be a special kind of weirdo to hate ice cream.
Yeah, there's got to be something wrong in the brain pan.
I'm sure someone out there does. And if you do, you probably don't listen to this podcast because this is the wrong podcast for you.
Absolutely.
But if you do hate ice cream and you're still listening to this podcast, leave us a comment and explain why because we would love to know.
They're judging our bad taste.
Yeah, probably. Anywho.
So we brought the kids out, and we went over to the ice cream truck, which was stationed outside the building. And it was a cute truck.
It was.
It was colored really nicely, from what I can remember. It was set up really basically, really smartly. Like, it didn't give you a whole bunch of options. It had preset options, but there are a lot of options. And they all looked really good.
Yeah, we're going to talk about those in a moment when we get to the signature dishes. Before we do that, a few more little background tidbits from the Blue Rain website. Because, as we kind of mentioned, there wasn't a whole lot of description about Blue Rain. And usually my system for this research, a peek behind the curtain for you. I look at the place's website, I look at their Instagram, and then I usually peruse Yelp, because sometimes there's additional descriptions on there. Blue Rain is either not that well known, or it just, the people who have it don't post online about it, because the website is relatively scarce. There's the description Paul read for you, and then there's a thing about parties, which I'm going to read in a minute, and then how to get Blue Rain to come to your event. And then the Instagram just has really nice pictures of the ice cream, which makes sense. And then their Yelp page is the funniest thing I've ever seen, because there are only 2 reviews at all.
Dang.
1 is 5 stars. 1 is 1 star.
Personally, I don't know how it got a 1 star. The ice cream's pretty good.
Ask prices first! They were mad at the price.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess.
Not worth $8. Okay, sir. Anyway.
You're getting ice cream conveniently from the side of a truck.
Yeah.
They have to spend gas to get there, and they have to, keep things refrigerated.
The equipment in the truck.
It's a resource-intensive process.
Depending on how big your party is, they might have a couple people, serving, right? They might have more than one person in the truck.
Right.
Making the sundaes and whatnot.
Yep.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So their Yelp rating is 3 stars because it's I guess it's 2.5 because it's the exact middle of 5 and, or no, it's 3. 5 and 1 is 6 divided by 2. Math, kids. Anyway.
And you call yourself a teacher.
I'm an English teacher.
Same difference.
I don't teach math. So, moving on, some more info about the Blue Rain ice cream truck. From their website, you'll see for yourself why our ice cream is the life of the party. From small birthdays to large corporate events and everything in between. So invite us over and allow us to be the highlight of your party. Take a peek at our gallery and get ready to fall in love with our scrumptious treats. Would you like a personalized quote to hire us for your celebration? There's nowhere else to look. Just answer a few simple questions for your custom quote. And then, because I am a dedicated researcher,
yes.
I filled out the form.
You filled out a form?
I filled out the form as a hypothetical, as if I was going to rent this truck. Because, As I'm sure we all know, I'm a teacher.
You monster.
And as I'm sure some of us might know, in addition to teaching, I also run the student council at my school. And we were talking, actually, in our meeting a few weeks ago about doing, like, a nice end-of-year event for people. And I thought, oh, this ice cream truck might be a cool thing to do.
So you suggested it?
Well, I figured I'd get the quote first, and then I'd pitch it. However, I filled out the form, I picked a date, I filled out all the info about my school, and then I got an email from Blue Rain that says, "Thank you for reaching out about us catering your school event. Unfortunately, we are completely booked and do not have availability on that date." And then they asked if I would like to change the date, but I did not respond because this was for science and not necessarily the case.
Got it.
But
okay.
But they responded pretty fast.
Well,
it was like the next day.
That's cool.
Yeah. So if you're ever thinking of seriously renting the Blue Rain ice cream truck, they note that they
don't play around.
They don't mess around. It's pretty cool.
Okay. Well, now that we went into a little bit about who they are and their business model, I guess, shall we go into the signature dishes?
I think we should.
All right. So, the things they offer: soft serve, vanilla, chocolate, and twist. Darn it. Tired.
You can't even blame the ice cream today because we didn't have any today.
I'm tired just mentally and physically. It's exhausting.
I guess you could kind of blame the ice cream because you went on that field trip and you had ice cream without me.
Well, it's not my fault.
I know. I'm mostly kidding.
At least I sent you a picture.
You did send me a picture. That picture at this point will have already been on Instagram for a few days.
Yeah, I saw that thing and I knew I immediately had to buy one.
Yep.
I didn't even want the ice cream. I just wanted the picture.
Paul went to an aquarium on a class trip and got an ice cream cone that looks like a fish.
And everyone was really jealous. And then they went and got their own.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask if it was a thing. Everybody got. Thing. You started a trend.
Yeah. And then along with the soft serve, they have waffle cone types and sugar cone types.
Mm-hmm. So let me explain. On the menu, which I've pulled up and which which will be on your screen at this point if you're watching the video and not just listening to audio.
Which 95% of the people do anyway, but go ahead.
I would assume so. Is divided into sundaes, cones, and waffles. Okay, so you have different sundae types based on your vanilla, twist, and chocolate soft serves. Those are your only 3 flavors, but then they're modified depending on what kind of thing you're ordering. So you can get a chocolate nut sundae, or a pineapple sundae, or a strawberry sundae. And then the same thing goes for the cones. You could get what they call the Blue Rain cone, which looks to have blue and rainbow sprinkles. Get it? Blue rain, blue rainbow.
I prefer purple rain, but go on.
Listen. Is that a Prince
reference?
Purple
rain.
That's a Prince
Purple
reference, right?
rain. Yes, it is a Prince reference, yes.
Okay. Well, I got confused for a second because my brain went to Purple Haze, which is Jimi Hendrix, and that's not the same.
No, it's not the same.
But anyway, and then the same thing, you can get chocolate dip, you can get Oreos. There's specific varieties of each cone, as well as specific varieties of each sundae. And then also, for funsies, they have Italian ice.
Yes. Side note.
Yes.
I'm at least proud of you that you knew that was Prince.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's move on.
I'm proud of me too.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have a ton of Italian ice, kind of like they don't have a ton of flavors for the ice cream. They have your 3 standards, your mango, your cherry, and your rainbow. And so this is for a truck, I think, kind of a lot to choose from.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of options. But as I said before, I dig their business model because it's smart how they do it.
What do you mean?
And meaning that the person doesn't have to fumble around with listening to anything in particular about their orders. All they have to do is say, I want Venusian lemon drop, or I want blue rain drip, or I want peanut butter chocolate days, or something like that.
So
2 out of 3 of those, by the way, were fake.
I was going to say chocolate dipped peanut cone. It might be what you meant.
Same difference.
But anyway.
I just bowled that whole, like 2 out of 3 of those.
Something like that.
Anywho, I just dig their business model. It's smart. Just to have it all, like, pre-figured out, and then you just have to choose from what they have. Mm-hmm. It's smart.
Yeah, it is smart. So, fun fact about Blue Rain.
Uh-huh.
I actually have had it before.
You have?
Yes.
When?
My school rented this truck.
Oh, so they already did it once.
They did it once, yeah. I didn't realize that it was them until we were, like, paying, and I got up to the thing, the menu, and I'm like, you know what? This looks familiar to me, because my school did a limited version of the menu. Like, the kids could pick from, like, there's, like, how many options are these, do you reckon? 30? 25?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27,
Are you still counting?
39.
For real?
Yeah.
Dang. Okay, so there's a lot to pick from, and my kids can be kind of indecisive. And in order to move this along so that the entire school gets ice cream, they limited it to
like 3 choices?
A much smaller thing. It was vanilla, chocolate, or twist, the Italian ice options, and then you could do cup or cone. And those were the options.
Oh.
I think they might have also kept the Blue Rain one because it's their signature, like, item.
Mm.
And maybe something else with sprinkles, but they didn't do any of the ones with nuts or fruit because allergies.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah. But anywho, for the first time I had Blue Rain, which was at school a long time ago, I had their chocolate soft serve.
And how was that?
It was decent. It was pretty good. As far as, like, soft serve off the back of a truck goes, it was good. It was probably, honestly, as good as or better than Jersey Freeze.
Oh my. Okay.
In my opinion. So
Pretty
I liked
good.
it. And they weren't, like, terribly stingy. Now, to be fair, my school didn't let us get waffle cones. We had to get sugar cones, which is like, you know what? It's fine. I get it. You're feeding ice cream to 200 people, so fair enough. But the chocolate itself was good. It was very chocolatey. It was creamy. It was delicious. All good things. However, when I got the chocolate cone, I saw a lot of people in my vicinity order the mango Italian ice. A lot of people, I guess, who don't do dairy were getting the mango ice.
Does it have a reputation for being good?
And I was looking at other people, and I heard rave reviews about this mango Italian ice.
Other people, like students?
Yes.
Okay.
Students and staff. So
that explains why you went with that for your choice on the 17th.
So on the day of the esports competition, when we ran into the Blue Rain ice cream truck, I chose to get the mango Italian ice for 2 reasons. 1, because I had already had the chocolate soft serve, and I was, like, not in the mood for it. And 2, and also, so 3 reasons, actually. Because 2 is that I heard good things about it, and 3 was that it was really hot outside.
That's a good reason.
Day, and I wanted something refreshing. Like, I love soft serve ice cream, but I feel like sometimes if you're overheated, like, the dairy can give me, like, the ick in my stomach.
I will take your word for it.
And I didn't want to deal with that, especially since we were far from home and I had to sit in the car for an hour on the way back, and I didn't want to torture superfan Annie in any kind of way.
Yes.
With my stomach issues. So I got mango Italian ice, and it was a great choice because, number 1, The guy hooked me up, I feel like, with the cup. It was, like, he gave me a lot of scoops. There was a lot of scoopage in this cup.
Yeah, that's kind of insane.
He took care of me. So that was number 1. Number 2, it was really good Italian ice. Like, it wasn't like...
Did I try any? I don't think I did, right?
I don't remember. I thought you might have.
I don't think you gave me any.
Well,
but you know what? That's fine, because I didn't give you any of mine.
You didn't. That should show you how good it was that we didn't share our stuff this time. But
you monster.
It wasn't like a Strollo's, and it wasn't necessarily frozen flavors level, but it was pretty close. It was like Ralph's or above.
Yeah.
If I was comparing. Possibly a little better, because this was very mango.
I would say that
mango-y.
Yeah. Yeah. This place reminded me of Ralph's.
In terms of quality?
In terms of quality and in terms of, like, options.
I could see that.
But
Ralph's
this just had more options in terms of just cones and ice cream.
Right. Ralph's has way more Italian
everything.
Well, and everything, too. But
it's like if Ralph's specialized in one thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
And anything else about your choice?
No, just that it was really good mango Italian ice. We've said in the past, that's kind of my standard, is to check the mango Italian ice and see how it is to tell
if you don't go with the dark chocolate or whatever.
Right, if I don't go with some kind of chocolate situation, it's going to be mango Italian ice. And so I really liked it. I would rate it highly. Yeah.
I feel like before we started doing this podcast and I had to start trying out more things, I believe I was just very much an Italian ice person.
Yeah?
Yeah.
More so than ice cream?
Yeah, way more than ice cream. I had to start expanding my horizons just for the podcast, but I always liked Italian ice because it was just, ice, and it didn't really mess with my stomach.
Yeah. That's understandable.
And like you said, it's refreshing.
It is so refreshing.
Especially when it's warm out. Ice cream is very, like, give or take. Like, it's kind of volatile whether or not, like you said, whether or not it helps when it's hot out or if it makes you feel weird. Yeah,
because sometimes, and this might be a TMI, because it's not even my stomach, it's just, like, in my mouth.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you'll get, like, that film.
Yeah.
From the dairy, and then I'm like, ugh.
I hate it.
And I hate that, so I didn't want to deal with that on Esports Day.
Right, but Italian ice is, like, generally speaking, never a bad choice.
No, it's always good. It's always good. We gotta get back to Strollo's now that they're open again, speaking of Italian ice.
Why Strollo's in particular? You just want Strollo's?
I just miss it. I liked it. We only went a few times.
And they're open?
They're open for the season, yeah.
Alright. We'll go. Anyway, for my choice, I went with what was known as a strawberry waffle cone. And it was tasty.
So what was in this? It was vanilla ice cream with strawberry sauce?
Yeah, basically. It wasn't anything fancier than that, but it was delightful. It was the closest. It looked like one of those vanilla soft serve cones with the red stuff, dipped in the red stuff that hardened, but it was just the sauce, and I enjoyed it. Like we said before, I feel like the quality of the ice cream is probably something similar to Ralph's, but as I also said, it seems like it was very specialized in terms of just cones and ice cream. But I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was warm outside. It was refreshing. It didn't make me feel that ick that Holly was describing.
Yay!
So I very much enjoyed it.
Good.
And
your kids seem to really enjoy. Well, when you're done,
I was going to say, and then my kids seem to really enjoy all the different types of ice cream that they got.
Yeah, we took a photo. Our like selfie that we'll include at the end. We asked the kids if they wanted to be in it, and some of them said they did. So they're the ones that wanted to be in the picture are going to be in the podcast.
Right.
majority of them got sundaes or waffle cones. The one girl got, like, the double chocolate one, and I was like, yes, that's the right choice.
Uh-huh.
It looked really good. I think this one is caramel, and then I think your champion over here got the blue rain, because it's blue sprinkles with the rainbow.
Good for him.
Yeah, he got the namesake, so that's exciting.
Yes. Blue for the school.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He did the blue with vanilla ice cream for the school colors.
Yes, that's exactly what he was thinking when he got it. Anyway, but I really enjoyed it. And as I said, probably Ralph level ice cream.
Plus, there's just, like, something special about an ice cream truck.
Yeah.
You know what I
like
mean?
An ice cream that, not an ice cream truck that has a whole bunch of different types of ice cream shoved into a freezer. Like, when I think of an ice cream truck, I think of a truck that has a whole bunch of popsicles that are in the shape of SpongeBob.
Right.
And then I'm thinking of the strawberry shortcake.
The Good Humor bar and the...
Yeah, but this was actually, like, legitimate ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
in a truck.
Fancy ice cream from a truck.
We have 2 other trucks that are on our list that are coming in future episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But this was our first... that we're going to actually put on the tier list, which is exciting.
I wonder if that truck, we should have asked if I thought about it, had the capability of playing music.
Oh, that would have been good to know.
Yeah. I bet you it did. I mean, what kind of ice cream truck wouldn't?
Well...
we should ask. If you get them for your school, make sure you ask them if they have the ability to play the music.
If I encounter them again, I will ask about the music, if there's a theme song involved.
Yes.
Cool. That was a fast episode, I feel.
And that's okay, because I need to get to making the I need to get to setting up the pictures and then making the shotcut shotcut file, and then I need to do the Audacity filters.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to get on this. It's Wednesday, bro.
Don't tell them that. Shh. So, did you have any interesting stories about the travel to the contests or anything before we continue?
I passed out donuts.
That's nice.
I mean, it was just a pretty straightforward trip back and forth.
Annie and I got stuck behind a construction vehicle because we passed the entrance to the college, and then it was trying to make us turn our, go in a circle, but we got stuck behind a construction vehicle, and then the road we needed to go on to cut through to go back the way we came is where the construction vehicle was going to park. So we followed it because we were hoping it would turn, and it didn't, and then we got stuck behind it again, so we had to back out, turn around, and go backwards. It was great.
Sounds joyous.
Yeah, it was a whole boatload of fun.
Yeah. No. Half the kids fell asleep on the way there, and then half the kids fell asleep on the way back.
Bus rides will do that to you.
I think being on all these bus rides this year, from being a bus aide, and then going to the park, and then going to the aquarium, and all of these things, I think, are helping to desensitize me to motion sickness.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I could read on the bus.
Huh, that is impressive.
Yeah, and even heights aren't bothering me as much anymore.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm
growing, Paul Persipali.
Yep. Everyone says that you die when you go past 25. I feel like I am. Everyone says you're dying when you go past 25. I feel like I am living.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Words to live by. It's never too late to improve as a human.
Right.
So let's talk about the price, I guess, before we rate.
And the price was $7.99 per?
Yeah, it was $7 to $8 an item, depending on what the item was.
And we bought it for...
And we
bought it for you and me
for
and...
7 people.
Yeah, you and me and 7 people. So 9 things.
No. Total 7.
What? Okay.
I have 5 kids.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We bought it for every kid there, and there were 7 kids plus you and me, which means there should have been 9. I gave I gave the student, the one student, the money.
There's 4 in this picture, 1 who sat out of the picture, and us 2.
There was...
And then you gave the other one money to buy ice cream later.
Yeah, there's...
So, technically 8 then, excuse me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 8 people. So anyway, we bought ice cream for 8 people. I forgot about the money you gave the other kids. So then it would be a total of $60 we spent on ice cream.
It was worth it. They deserve it.
It was worth it. Because I used my card for the main transactions, and that was like $49 and change, and then I think you gave the other kid a 10 to get what he was gonna get.
Yeah. Wait, 40? That's not bad.
49.
49's still not bad.
No, it really, like, for all the people, and they gave us a lot of ice cream. It wasn't, like, insane. It wasn't like if we took them to Surreal Creamery, I think I would have to take out a
loan?
or freaking Milkcraft. I'd have to be, like, working off the ice cream in servitude at the Milkcraft.
Yeah, really.
But, anyway.
But yeah, the price... We've had worse. Mm-hmm. We've had better. This was pretty average.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable in terms of... I would pay it again for that ice cream.
If we were there, sure, yeah.
Yeah. So, the moment you've all been waiting for, and guess what, Paul? I have it ready this time. Are you proud of me?
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so proud. All right. I'll start.
Okay.
I think you started last time. In the S tier, for all of the stores that we have already reviewed, we have Allstead Farm, Frozen Flavors, Ice Cream Monster, Milkcraft, Surreal Creamery, Ryan's Homemade Ice Cream, Mystic Drawbridge, Friendlies, and the Baked Bear.
In the A tier, we have Nicholas Creamery, Gabriel's Fountain, Pliables, Strollo's Lighthouse, Uncle Luigi's, Beanie's, Sweet Ice Creamery, Sunday Afternoon, Sundays, Carvel, Holy Cow, Coney Waffle, Smoothie King, and Frozen Yo Cafe.
Bet. In the B tier, we have Ralph's Famous Italian Ice, Baskin Robbins, Ben & Jerry's, Taro, What's the Scoop, Pinkberry, Haagen-Dazs, not Dunkin' Donuts, Duck Donuts, and Jersey Freeze.
I did text you about Dunkin' this morning, which is probably why you said that.
Or I just saw the word donuts and then a word that before it that's a D, so my brain automatically jotted in Dunkin'.
Probably. Anyway.
What do we have in the C tier, Holly?
In the C tier, we have Rita's, Crazies, Cold Stone, Shake Shack, Dairy Queen, and Sonic.
And in the D tier, we have Magnificos and Mini Melts.
And now we need to place the Blue Rain. Where shall we put it?
I personally think that we should probably put it somewhere in the B tier list.
Yeah?
Yeah, as we said, I mean,
I guess
it's
if
pretty...
we're comparing it to similar to Ralph's, right?
That's why I was going to say that. I was going to say, like, either before or after Ralph's. I personally think after. Just because that Ralph's offered more stuff.
That was easy.
You agree?
I do agree.
Okay.
That was a simple one. Blue Rain will be after Ralph's and before Baskin Robbins. Do we think? Yeah, before Baskin Robbins? Yeah, before Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, before Baskin Robbins.
Yeah. All right, then.
Yes.
That was simple.
That was very simple.
There was no fight in that at all.
Nope, no fight.
Well,
I think we're pretty set.
Yeah, good for us. Alrighty, folks. Thank you, as always, for listening to the 41st episode of Scooped Podcast.
Dang.
If you haven't, I know, done it already, make sure you're following us on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, donate to our Ko-fi, tell a friend, tell your family, tell your coworkers, annoy them with information about this ice cream podcast.
And most importantly, tell your dog.
You gotta stop having people tell their dog.
The dog knows. They talk. We watched The Secret Life of Pets while we were driving to the aquarium today.
You did?
Yeah. They talk.
Okay.
TV doesn't lie.
Well,
Pixar doesn't lie.
Right. Okay. It's okay. But as always, the best way to support us is by tuning in, and be sure to do so next week for a review of an ice cream shop whose name is a pun and a song reference.
I do like song references.
Yes. Who doesn't?
Yes. So I guess I will be surprised.
Yes.
I don't remember what this one is.
Okay.
All right. Then we will talk to you next week then.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.